what's up? This is White Filth with another update. I think this is new in collection 161 and I already know the title. Normally we just put those in the back. What this is, yeah, a bunch of everything like usual with these updates, but we'll be here for a while, so sit down, relax, have a beer. Adam's not here, but we're drinking Founders Mosaic Promise, which is good. Cheers. We have, yeah, quite the program, so let's delve in. Let's start with this one. This is Thx and Crest, the new split tape that came out on New Era. Split, it's on MC, LP and CD, but I think only the CD and the cassette are out right now. There is the repress of this one, which is also a very good record. This one and Leshy are untouchable in my opinion from that label. And then there is a very, very long title and the new logo for the Horrible Room, I think, the White Tower in the spacey triangle. So yeah, what's that? Destroyer 666. So yeah, a new split between the Russian and the Bosnian bands. Black Plague Circle and Horrible Room coming together. Come on, cable, work with me. There you go. Nice little J card. Crest and Thx wish you a pleasant stay in your grave. Black Plague Circle and Plesko Brothers Circle, I think, 2022. It's been some time since I've read Russian. But yeah, it has pigs on the cover, so you know where we are going with this one, but they give their own maniacal little twist on the Iljarn classics, I think. I've shown the flyers, yes. This was obviously from a New Era order, which I think I showed most of it. No, it's in this one, sorry. But they threw in a Dark War Eternal Volume 1, the New Era Productions label sampler from this year, 2022. Has bands like Helleruin, Heinous, of course, Udegest, Grand Celestial Nightmare, and Scheinung. Hintial, I don't know that one. Thx, which is very good, I think that's Czech. Funeral Winds, getting into it very hard. And then Gargantua, the Russian bands. Triumph Genius, which is excellent. And then yeah, there you go. Maybe you can read it. It's a good camera, so. Jasper and Co, thank you very much. That's everything for that. Do I have anything else? Yes, I have a bunch actually. Went to the I went to the Mayhem show. I didn't buy anything, but I got some nifty little Mortis stickers, which I like Mortis actually more than Mayhem. Mayhem was fine. They had 3 sets. They had beginning set with the Declaration of War stuff in the middle. There was some De Mysterious because I was 28 years old, and then they had all the lights on and was a red background, so they played some Dead Crush and other classics. Got a pin. I don't know if that shows up, but it's a Mortis with the double X, the True Dungeon Synth logo. And then I picked up some promo for the Unholy Congregation Part 4, a Belgian festival in Oudenaarde. Yeah, the Cubus. Called The Fire, who played a very good set, I think, at Thronefest. Aeternus, Avski, Alcredale, Silver, you know, a bunch of bands. I met the guy there and I asked him some questions, but I never been to the festival because, you know, I'm a dad and it's Oudenaarde. I think it's the 4th time because it's Part 4. But always a good lineup, and a lot of Nidrosian bands already played there. And then into a gift, which I'm going to show. I'm not going to get into it. We'll maybe play a tape after this monster is done, but this comes from Alex, or Alex of Ireland, on Instagram. And he sent me basically the entire Fomorian, I think, Fomorian Hate catalog on tape. But this is a tape delay in itself, and it's gonna take some time to wrestle through all this material, but there you go. What's cool is they, at first glance, don't seem from the same label, which is something weird to say, baby, but they are all a little bit different. Some look very 90s, some look very of now, some look very weird. There's a Bacon tape in here somewhere, Francis Bacon, so there's a lot going on, but every tape has a perfect aesthetic in itself, so definitely a cool package to send me, but I'll get them out of the way for now, and maybe we can listen to some. And then last and certainly not least, cheers to Boltz. He dropped issue number 7, summer 2020, and this is the the new edition of Bolt's magazine. Interviews with Putrid March, Vamatar, Nietstong, Blinding Sun, Hexabesem, Hotchin Pit, Tenebrositas, and Gates of Londra. Additional contribution by, thank you, White Filth. Boots, thanks for letting me be a part of this. There's the only hardcore or punk that's in here is anti-animal cruelty. That's the only thing that's left from that scene in here, which is still weird for a black metal scene, but you know. Starts off with very beautiful picture from Blinding Sun. There's some cool pictures in the back there, and a very good article. The aesthetics are on point. And it's actually a good article. I enjoyed reading it, not just because I did something Hotchin Pit. Very, very nice to dive into that world. This is Gates of Londra. Looks incredible, like I said. He had a blog showing records before Instagram, and the pictures there were always insane. And then we are getting to my page, which has more Thunderdome on it than I would think I would need, but yeah, it's insane. He used a picture from the drunk nights here, the dead wizards. Is there anything else? He wrote an article, more Thunderdome, more Gabber, but you get the point. There's also Putrid March that is still in here, and a lot more. Yeah, the Putrid March and the Tenebrositas Nietstong. It keeps on going and going. Yeah. You get it. Boltz, I'm sorry. This is the test edition he did. I'm going to show it just for the hell of it. He started to color in with red crayon or coloring pencil, but then decided that that wasn't going too fast, so he made some red dye to paint it just to see what it would give on red. Kind of think it works, but yeah, you get the picture. Just a nice addition to the regular one. Boltz, once again, thank you very much. Yeah, check it out. My thing is black metal and social media. Very short, very to the point, I hope. Written in the style of Carrie Bradshaw, so enjoy or not, but support the guy. PDFs are on his Instagram page, Boltz, and get the zine. That's it for part 1. We are going to delve into records proper. Alex, thank you very much. Tape delay. Who knows? Hey guys, welcome to part 2. This is going to be a continuation of sorts of the Dani Go to War X video we did 2 times ago. The last one was the outside video, which was looking pretty good, I think. The dogs in the back and the birds in the back, so yeah, it was a fun night. I got a bit drunk, forgot to tell a lot. There will be some more Polish stuff in here, there will be some more French stuff in here, so we're just going to evolve or devolve back into the past. Where was I? I've shown everything. Yes, so this is the continuation of that video with Dani. Yeah, really great talk. If you haven't seen it, I can see by the numbers that he is up a bit in the charts, if you know what I mean, but it's Dani, so that's understandable. We are going to look into what we last showed in that talk, I would say, the VLS records, the Legion records, but we'll start off with the Black Metal Butchery by Ifernach, the Canadian, I don't know the region anymore. Yeah, but he's like, I think it's an indigenous guy from there. I don't think he came from Seattle or anything like that, so I'm not sure. Finian Patriarch, I never dove into the lore, but I said to myself when the last one came out, the one with the Bruegel, I think, on the cover, this is the last Ifernach, but then when this cover popped up with Dani's little obi, if you've seen the corner obis, that will be a bitch to get back in the sleeve. But yeah, this cover with the obi, and then knowing that it was a compilation, and it has 2 covers on here. One is from Akitsa, I'm pretty sure, and one is from something in the same vein by Pest. Right, Armageddon by Pest and Je ne serai pas. sung by Akitsa. There are some instrumentals on here. There's older material on here. Let's see. There's an alternate version from the original one on Thx Gaspésien, unreleased track. Yeah. There's not really too much info on here, but you know what I mean. It's a compilation of unreleased material and some covers. But it's the cover that drew me in, and I think I actually have enough Ifrenach for now. It's Go to Warx, so it's pretty tight looking, and it's actually good sounding. It's not a bad, it's the raw material of Ifrenach since it's unreleased and maybe not as polished. Not that it's polished, but you know what I mean. There you go. Indian, is it Indian bird on the center labels? I guess so. When I was young, it was an Indian. Now, I don't know. Still is. I think they call themselves Indians because they're warrior folk. There you go. That's the first one. Black Metal Butchery, how can you not pick that up with that? It's a bit pixelated, but I think it works. So yeah, that's the first one. Ifrenach. Then into, yeah, his material. Am I going to do it in... Yeah, that's it. Hey, we're back. I had to cut after the Ifrenach because I remembered I got a package in earlier, which fits perfectly into what's coming next. We are going to delve into the VLS and Legion stuff, and to be completely honest, I was out of beer, so I ran to get a Sentinel IPA. We need sponsors, so founders. Cheers. Maybe we'll start making merch counts in Nihilus. We'll see. It's going to be Gabber. What else? So yeah, an order from, let's see, where is it? And it's going to fit in perfectly, from Ancient Dead Productions out of Poland. They had some stuff that was of interest. Basically a very good Polish demo. Yeah, Black Clouds over Dark Majesty. Two people. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's brought in at the last minute. Little Figure 3 and Literally Payman and Uldor. So yeah, and casted by Forced Charm. Thunderbolt, one of the legendary demos. It has 6 tracks on here, so you tell me. Like I said, I haven't delved into it too much in the back. I knew it was a good record because I heard it digitally a few times. It's from recorded during the summer-autumn of '97, so later in that entire scene, or yeah, later in the sense that it's still very early for that scene, but it started in '92, '94. We'll delve in the next part. So that was one thing. The thing that piqued my interest were the shirts he was doing, because he's doing very limited runs of classic shirt material, if you will. God damn it. The thing he had was the VLS long sleeve, Night on the Bear Mountain. It has a sleeve print that says the Temple of Full Moon on Ancient Dead Productions. It is a beast of a long sleeve. Ancient Dead logo on this side, and then the two guys, Belpares and Blasphemous, looking very Graveland picturesque. We'll get into it, but yeah. This Burial Shrine, then I picked up the Legion one. It's been some time since I showed shirts. I got it for this one. It is a bit wrong, I know, but yeah. It has stupid Viking, so I don't know if I'll ever wear it, but you know, still a cool shirt. But then the shirt that I was actually most after, and we'll delve into them also. This is Funeral with the black flame of Unholy Hates. There we go. The back. Will I have the balls to wear them out? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Into the update proper. So we're listening to Thunderbolts. This thing, I was listening to it while I was taking a break. Get it. I've so far heard the CocoCast track, but it's good. Cheers to them. Don't fuck entire Russia, if you know what I mean. There are people too, but yeah, that's my caveat for last time. Into it, Veles. I don't know if that should make it. we are talking a band that was at the very start of the entire Polish black metal upstart, all the bands that came from it. It's insane. It's been a vein in the black metal artery system that I have completely ignored, but the music is, I mean, it's all so good, sorry. So they started as Beltil in '92, but then I think it was around '94, I know it was around '94 that they started Veles. It's a name for a god that I'm blanking on. Not a bad god per se, if you know what I mean. Blasphemous and Belfaris, like I said, was on the long sleeve. He was called Conqueror in the second part of his career, if you will. But yeah, he died some time ago. They are from Władysław in Poland, something like that. And they have, yeah, a bunch of material. They have more than Legion. Legion basically is a Rob Darken project, rework. We'll get there when we get there. But they have 3 records out, or re-released, as Danny called them, the ultimate editions. The first one is The Triumph of Pagan Beliefs. This one, and yeah, I have gushed over. I managed to not suck up to Danny too much about his releases, but I've gushed over them so many times on this channel. He's seen a lot, but these are excellent. Yeah, they've done with very much respect to what the original artwork was, and the obis definitely bring something more. This was Night on the Bare Mountain, for me the classic, but this is actually the classic. Yeah, black hateful metal. Production-wise, I was thinking about not calling them raw because they actually have a good production, but I can imagine that if you start listening to this as metal, that it sounds raw. So basically the demos, the Triumph of Pagan Beliefs, actually sounds very good for the time and for what it is. It is we're talking 93, 94, and this was actually the pre-Veles, so the Beltil 92 material, which then translated into the early demos for Veles. This is the logo, so you know he went all out again. This is basically demo material, so the packaging is sober, but it has some stuff in here that make it work sober in the sense that there is just not a lot of photo material. And if there's photo material, it's one black and white on the tape. So here is a band pick. I'll try to slide the obi. There you go. Very sick band pick. So 2 guys in this one. Wow, my voice. 2 guys. Rob Draken from Graveland was in the earlier stages, I think around when is Celtic Winter is from '94, so basically around the same time or a bit later. He was in his early demo career too. He provided keys for this one. This product makes stronger the Temple of Full Moon, the Polish Circle of Hate and Rebirth. Dark blessings to all our wolf friends. Yeah. Guest musicians, 2 unholy spirits from the Polish black metal Legion, the band, recorded at Isengard. These are all. Rob Draken is basically I wouldn't say Euronymous because you'll see why. Yeah, but he's basically the figure or the Don, if you want to say it in Mafia terms, of that scene. He plays keyboards in VLS. Legion is basically his. Graveland is his. Lord Wind, I think, is basically also his. So he has he has his hands in everything. So yeah. Yeah, and he's on this one too. Not to hype Graveland because I basically know the Celtic Winter and I've heard Thousand Swords a few times, but it's gonna take some time for me to delve into this material. But sound-wise, yeah, actually pretty good. Okay, they have these woeful sounding synths that you would, yeah, where would you hear them? It's a different sound. It's not woeful as in, it's more death woeful, I should say. There's always the furious energy, the hateful driven black metal that they spit out, that they perfect on black hateful metal. But the demo material yeah, it's basically very good. There's not much Veles. There is, like I said, less Legion, but it's good black metal. So one more picture for this one. Did I write anything down? There is, on the night of the Bear Mountain, are 2 instances. I've noticed one some time ago, I think, when I talked about it with Pede, maybe. I don't know. This is the second one, and this is from, let's see, Night on the Bear Mountain 95. So yeah, this is for me the classic in the sense that the musicality on this one is a bit more still musical. On Black Hateful Metal, it is just, yeah, the synths become very in a supportive role more than a, well, it's not always overbearing. They always use the synths, yeah, like Forbidden Temple uses them now, for example, really there, but not overbearing, but always bringing something better to the track. While I'm starting to love synths, I guess. Talked about them today, actually, on Instagram. This is Night on the Bear Mountain. The record is done. I'll put the tape back on. Told you you'd be here for a while. So yeah, it goes all over the place. It's not just Iljarn. But back to this. Production-wise, so there's a lot more musicality on this one. It is maybe a bit more adventurous in some parts, which is something to say about this one. My Bloodthirst is one of the tracks on here. It is basically a Dark Dream, The Final Battle, and Majesty of War. Those 3 tracks are the pinnacle of this record, and My Bloodthirst always scares me because I fall asleep sometimes with this thing, and My Bloodthirst is then the B-side, but it just has these overbearing war drums that just pop up in the middle of the night. Blasphemous is the only one credited or mentioned here by picture, recorded and mixed in August of 95 by Blasphemous and Zarahil, I think. Blasphemous on vocals. Session is Rob, Chris, Tom, and Rob Darken, so 2 Robs. Yes, very cool. This is in Polish, so I don't know what it says, but yeah, very cool records. I'm not sure if I can do. I'm starting these Unholy trilogies up. I did Wardom Rife. I was going to do Darkthrone, but that's so out there, so we'll think about it. But maybe I'll do a bit more on this. I'm not sure. Is there anything more I should say? The Triumph of Pagan Beliefs had sessions, unrehearsed, and fragments, it said. But yeah, there's some extra material on all of these. Like I said, they did a very good job. Then the actual classic, or which people refer to as the classic record by them, like I said, it's like the Ulver trilogy of hate, something like that. There's musicality, there's some folk in here, there is... I wouldn't call them the Ulver of Poland because I have too much respect for this stuff, and also for Ulver, don't get me wrong, but these are different kind of people. But yeah, first time this is a color picture, bam, on the cover. It is one of the more satisfying covers I've seen in a long while. The photo is so old, it's pixeled, it's out of focus, but it brings the lettering really into focus, and definitely the obi. You know, it's insane. Black Hateful Metal, look at this, lightning everywhere. There's not much picture material in here, but it has a booklet, and that's why this is considered the classic. There you go, this is the original cover. Yeah, it has a booklet with lyrics. I was hoping for a bit more picture material. There's some of this, which I think is the same session they use for my version of the Celtic Winter, but it's basically the only picture of the 2. Session musicians from Veles, Legion were also in here. It is one big pot of musicians that just switch between all those bands, like Legion. Like, I don't think they played in Graveland because I'm not sure. It's really complicated who plays in who, because there's not much to find on there, and the interviews that you find are not really shining a light on it, if you know what I mean. The Temple of Infernal Fire, this track on here, that is the precursor to the Temple of Full Moon, if I have the correct, and if I interpreted it right. It's started by the guy from Behemoth Nurgle, together with Blasphemous from Veles. So that is where you should situate this entire thing. The start of Behemoth, the start of everything for that country. The last thing I have is Legion. There was a quote on here somewhere, but I can't find it. Maybe it's in the booklet. Something about... yeah, I can't find it. This record is not dedicated to Dead and Euronymous, and that is one of the first times I have seen... I have to think, but it's one of the first times I've seen anti-Norway propaganda somewhere. Then, Legion. This piqued my interest. The Temple of Full Moon, Legion VLS split. I don't know what the exact thing is, but it's considered the banner for the Legion of Full Moon, or the Temple of Full Moon, I should say. Don't drop this one. I asked Danny for the silver one, but I am glad as hell he sent me the gold one, because it's actually very neat. Tape, are you going to flip? We'll have some silence. That was in the last two videos, so yeah. It's all in gold. Blood on My Knife Demo 94, and then Blood on My Knife Rehearsal from 94. There are alternate versions on here. But yeah, it has Blood on My Knife 94, like I said. Darken My Celtic Blood Rehearsals 94, and that's where it gets confusing, of course. Together with that, these are once again the pictures that are as Graveland looking as can be. So yeah, it's hard to keep track of who is who, but I don't think that truly matters. What matters is that, once more, this for me is becoming a cornerstone in my entire, what I like to listen to. It is just part of the aggression part, wow. That, yeah, that forms a basic plateau to build the entire black metal thing on. It's not the root material, which is proto metal, which we'll get into a bit. It's just continuation of second wave, but I don't know where they get their influences from. It's not really Darkthrone. I don't know. Maybe it's Draken, because yeah, Draken, Darken, whatever, Darken. It is, yeah, Darken. My Celtic Blood Rehearsals 94. He recorded these tracks as a demo, I guess, because it was in the beginning of when is this Legion, from 94 to 95. So it's, yeah, around the same time his demo streaks stopped, I guess, for Graveland. And he had these tracks, but they weren't fitting into Graveland, I think. So he looked for somebody else, and he found two cohorts, if you will. Capri Cornus on drums, Rob Darken on guitars and keys, and Leynat on vocals. He also landed his voice, I think, in Veles, but once again, could be mistaken. He died in 2006. If you look, not really at these pictures, because I think this is him, and then this is him maybe, but there's a picture, I think, on Metallum where he looks like 16. It's insane how young these people were. So yeah, it comes with a lyric sheet, I don't think so, a info sheet. Leynat from Mysteries, that's his band, was responsible for main vocals. Blasphemous, Veles and Capricornus added some additional ones like devilish laughs and other blasphemous sounds. Legion was supposed to live on and become the most brutal propaganda wagon of the Temple of Full Moon. Jesus Christ. Blood on My Knife, yeah. It's they have this one, they have the split. Demo 1 from 94, split 94 with Perrenwit, I think, and then the Blood on My Knife is the split with Veles, which is also incredible. Is there anything else? Yeah, it's a lost recording from Darken, but yeah, it's re-earth. Formed to unite the black metal elite, that is Legion. And that is where we'll cut off this Polish party and move over to France with Legion Noire, but that is in the third part. I'm going to drink first. Hey, part 3. We are listening to the Thx side of the split with Crococrest. Really good one. Yeah, demo, EP list 22. Cheers to both. France, I struck a deal with a semi-local vendor. He had a Discogs page and he is selling records for too much money, actually. But I hit him up and it was right before I was thrown off Discogs, which I didn't talk about here, I think, but it's not worth mentioning. He had this one. He also had Rotting Christ. I think the first one for about 350 euros. He offered me to buy it for 250, but it still was too much since it's repressed on Peaceful. This has never been repressed, so I paid, it's the most expensive 7-inch. Yes, I think so. Hail Satanas, we are the Black Legions. Not 3 numbers like it goes, but yeah. This is the first 7-inch, the first Wapenfeit, if you will, from the French Legion Noire scene. Not the entire scene, but definitely from Mutilation. They were pretty early, because I compared where they were to what's coming up next, the Concilium. This was 94 also. Concilium starts, I don't know when it starts, but I have earliest thing on here is 95, so right after Legion Noire. These guys, where they took their influence from, I think from, I don't know, a lot of places, because if you listen to their electronic stuff or their more ambient stuff, it goes all over the place. Vermapire Command goes all over the place, punk-wise, if you will. And that is the Vermapire Command makes me believe the Crust's background, so very interesting folk. This is Jean-Luc Dark. Jean-Luc, actually the Dark Wizard of Silence on drums. And then you have really melancholic Lord of Torments on this one. This was before he sat down in a wheelchair, which is my next passion, wheelchairs in black metal. And yeah, he became Mayhem, the leader, once again. Is it a leader? I don't know. Like Rob Darkham, like Euronymous for the Legion, the Black Legions. Yeah, this is Hail Satanas, we are the Black Legions. Légion Noire de France, not Toulon. They are from, did I write it down? No. I'll ask my partner in crime, Phantom Lord, because he's coming back for a talk about his new stuff, which is Blue Nothing. I am more interested, not that I'm not interested in his new EP, but I'm more interested in the cooperation he had with Skograt and his Gore Wizard zine, The Dark Prophecy Awaits You. And we're going to talk about this one, because he's the only one I can talk about talk about this stuff. He is very interested. His early roots came from this, and he is obsessed with this. Am I going to cut here? Yes. Because the music is gone, I need to put something on. Thomas, sorry. Still recording, yeah. Should make it a bit easier. Sorry, man. New. Sorry, people. The music cut off and I got disoriented. This is Procession of Spectres with Kaitebeo, I think. EP from this year, maybe. I hope so. MMXX. I don't know. What am I? Roman. I was talking about this. I got this, like I said, from a local vendor for a good price. This is the first EP, or the first 7-inch the Mutilation did, or the start of Le Legion Noire, recorded during the full moon. Music and lyrics by Willy and produced by Willy, which of course is Mayhem. Still has his address on here. Like I said, this never got repressed. This is, yeah, a very important 7-inch for me and for what I am into. So glad to finally have it in the collection. This is the silver. There's only one version, so there's not mistaken for a bootleg. It has the silver big center. There you go. Doesn't come with a insert. It doesn't come with a, maybe it was with a, came with a flyer or something like that, I can imagine. But yeah, not in here, unfortunately. Still, I'm very glad. Phantom, I'm coming for you. So yeah, look forward to that one ASAP. I'm going to put it safe away because you don't know what's going to happen. Then, from the caves of Brest, I think, or Brest, I'm not sure. We went to one of the two. There was a, when I was young, we went to one of the two cities, Brest or Brek. Not sure. Would have been weird to also did it, because I've been to Rovaniemi without finding anything of Barrett. I noticed the plaque of the guy from Lordi, but that's it. That's the only metal experience I had there. And I got a record at the Pole Circle, which was also cool. But yeah, I'm drifting off. I don't even know where we're at. Blame it on the Sentinel. There we go. I hope you're still with me because this is going to be a long video. We are going to go from Brest or Brest to Toulon for the Order of the Emerald, or the Concilium, if you will, the French troop around Lenro, I think, or Lenrout, and Xapan, with a bunch of others. The Laro, I think that's how we pronounce it. Hades, or LF, is the mastermind behind the entire, once again, another key figure for the French later scene. The first record he played on was, maybe I should do them in order. Makes more sense. This is the Funeral. I don't think I showed that one. No. Funeral, Black Flame of Unholy Hate. The shirt popped up before. Now this. I already owned the tape from Tour de Garde. And I listened to it, but I mainly bought it back then for the cosmetics, I should say, of the entire thing, because demo tape looked good. It had a huge fold out with a lot of info on here, but I never dove in, and I kind of knew maybe that it has something to do with Seigneur Volant, but I didn't know it was Concilium or, you know, Emerald or whatever. But yeah, this is part of the black metal history in France. Once again, read the Bardo Methodology interview about basically this band and basically the entire scene. This is the re-release of that record that came out in '95. Yes. Yeah, Funeral kind of not split up. They just called it quits, and LF or Lerno got into Kristallnacht, but also was the main guitarist and main composer for a lot of bands like Blessed in Sin. I don't think he was in Osculum in Fame, Gloria Dei or something like it. A lot of bands, whatever. Yeah, Blessed in Sin. Oculus in Fame is a different beast. But this basically became Kristallnacht, and then he was main composer for Seigneur Volant. So it's the entire thing. Seigneur Volant. Where are you? This one. Basically, Xafan went to jail for, I don't know, murder? I don't know. He went to jail. He formed the entire, because he was also in Funeral, yes, but he informed the entire concept of Seigneur Volant, how it should sound, what it should be, and then got reconnected to Lerno, and they just started playing, you know, Funeral 2.0, because Funeral basically has a demo. Let's see. Did I write it down? I've written a lot down, but no, they don't have a demo. This is their demo, and they have a split with Oculus in Fame, I think. Yes, Osculum, sorry. Osculum in Fame, split on '96 on the AMSG label. And AMSG stands for Ad Majorem Satanae Gloria. It was a young tape label, I think 1 or 2 CDs, and then they had 6 tapes. One of them was the Funeral Osculum in Fame in, yeah, Jesus Christ. Femme, I think it's, I don't know, it's French. That was one of them. Then let's see. Set, Bekira, Dark Sanctuary, and Winter Funeral are some of the bands. So it's like 6 tapes that are all really good. I think the split with Osculum in Fame, that's how we're going to call them, is on here. A Strive, a Victory for the Resurrection of Our Movement, and Aryan Blood is on here. Jesus Christ. It's becoming quite the video. But yeah, this is the start of that entire thing in, it says here 95, 2020, 25 years of Black Flame of Unholy Hate. But yeah, it's 95, yeah, 95. But they started in 94 and then up until 96. The weird thing is there is a sleeve in here. Whoa. So it just has the, there you go, classic cover, some info, and some crazy ass band pics. There you go. Yeah, read the article if you want to know more. Insanity reigns supreme with these guys. This is the regular sleeve. The bumpers for the entire order was the sleeve again, but then just cut up without a spine. So, yep, here is the Oscar Infam records, or the split tape on AMSG. So yeah, really lucked out with this one. This is the clear version on New Era Productions, and this is the last, and it said the definitive, I guess, release of this, because how many times can you know, put out a demo again? It came with a flyer, or I kept the flyer, final edition they called it, limited gatefold LP, limited to 300, so I imagine there are 200s on black, and then I don't know, 100 on clear, something like that. But yeah, very important demo for the start of that part of the French scene. I showed this before. Like I said, this is Seigneur Volant. They don't have too much recorded output. There are there bootlegs even? I don't know. Have some of their stuff. There's a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of bootlegs, a lot of compilation material. But this was basically a soundboard recording from. It's released in 2018 by New Era and Boltz, yeah, whatever. Something Wotan Klangsschmiede. Wotanstall Klangsschmiede. There you go. I read it. It's hard to read logos sometimes, but yeah, this is a live recording straight from the soundboard. It is from 2004, and it's at the Blitzkrieg, Black Metal Blitzkrieg Fest in Bladel. I think that's Holland, but Netherlands, yeah, 2004, 17 April. They played 3 more shows after this one, I think one in Belgium. And they played recently at Steelfest, actually, so yeah. There is a New Era flyer on here for the flyer, presented by New Era. I had no idea at that time. Passop is the venue, and Funeral Winds also played there, so yeah. Insane. Only very cool and very logical that New Era puts this one out. Yeah, legendary tunes. I mean, did I write anything down about the music? No, you just listen to it. Yeah, just listen to it. What can I say? Xapan, LF or Lerno, Rimont and Rost make up the lineup for Seigneur Volant. Funeral was Xapan, LF, and then Black Christ and Croff. Or Croff, because they are French. The last thing I have is another band by Lerno, or Lenro, I think, Lenrauth, but LF for short. This is Desolation Triumphalis with Forever Bound to Nothingness. This is the re-release by Out of the Dungeon Records from Finland. Once again, it gets confusing. The original cover was a very famous picture. I think Cuff has it too, the skull with the bones and the whatever. But I'm going to fly through this because I have one, and then I'll do the bonus in a blast. So yeah, 3 guys in this band, this is a very slowed down version of everything LF has been playing in the past. I'm not going to say it's not going to go fast here and there, but it's once again under the banner of Concilium, so you know what to expect sound-wise. It is very good guitar work, very good guitar playing, but it's just slowed a bit more down. Forever Bound to Nothingness. This is also from 2006, so a bit later into the entire everything of this Order of the Emeralds scene. But yeah, still, yeah, it's a very good record. They all are. There you go. That's it. We have one more short chapter in America, and then we have a bonus blast, and that's it. I think will be well over an hour. I got requests for more, so we'll see. In parts 4. Yeah, sorry. Seems my mic is shocking me. I don't know how he's going to cut this. I'm really sorry, Adams. But yeah, here we go. Judas Iscariot, we are going into the US. We barely go into the US. Like I said, Svetovit, a bit of Bone Owl here and there, Klaxon Records. But yeah, Judas Iscariot is way back. Way back as in 95, 96. This is from 96. This is obviously a boot. The Cold Earth Slept Below. It has the obvious influence of Dark Throne, but obvious in the way that people keep saying it is referring to Dark Throne. It is of course looking back to classics. Since it's 96, we are looking at the trilogy of Dark Throne is past, the Mysterious Dom Satanas is done. So he definitely was looking at Norway, but he could have been looking at Greece, he could have been looking at yeah, maybe even something like Poland, because it's not as heavy thematically. It is very atmospheric. It has those. It is very anti-Christian in as, yeah. I think he uses words that could be misconstrued, but it is more anti-Christian, very early US one-man black metal, responsible for the entire wave of US raw black metal stuff. It is not Ildjarn type shit. It is more second wave Scandinavian with some other influences from, I don't hear Blazebird, maybe a bit Greek for the weird and the atmospheric stuff, but yeah, you should consider it or place it there. It is around the same time as Von, for example, but Von is more first wave-ish. I think something like Apsu comes close, but that's more trash still. Really early 90s, late 80s, but then the closest thing maybe is Black Funeral, that thing. This is started in 92 and it died in 2002. He called it quits. He didn't want any money from any releases. He just said to the labels, put it back in the underground. Guess that was the kind of guy he was. I mean, if you're in Illinois, I think, yeah, Illinois in 92, and you start making this kind of music, I don't know where he got his stuff from, but it's pretty insane. But it reached the States, so yeah, of course it reaches the States. Let's see, Akhenaten is the guy behind it, one-man project, like I said. He started in 92, but he had one demo under the name Heidegger, which is the philosoph, I don't know, philosoph, I don't know how I'd say it in English. And then demo 93, this is, yeah, basically a demo. Is this? Jesus Christ, this microphone is really zapping me. I'm looking at my notes, and I had AMSG in the Concilium part. This one, if you look up Judas Iscariot and on Spotify, because it's all there, or most of it's there. If you look at it, what's like this thing, it's at ASMR instead of, sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke. But this and then ASMR, that was a comparison. So yeah, you know where to find this one. Did I write anything down? Breath of Night Records. This came out on Moribond Original. He had the Breath of Night Records. That was Judas Iscariot's label, or the guy behind Judas Iscariot. And Nihilistic Resistance was his zine. Now let's dive into the records. Like I said, Dark Throne as an influence. There is some other stuff going on. Very atmospheric, very raw in production, but for a one-man around that time, good stuff. The entire school system within the US provides children, I think like in Norway too, with a lot of possibilities if you have the money, of course. In Norway, everybody had the money. In Poland, no one had the money. But US has the kind of educational system where you can choose for music, so maybe had access to good music, I don't know. Originally recorded in '96 and released by Moribond Records, this edition of The Cold Earth Slab Below was recorded in 2002. So is it re-recorded? I'm not sure. The Desolate One Productions, basically a bootleg. It came from New Era. But yeah, the tape is done again. Record is just as Boots should be. I think he denounces every bootleg or as, you know, not supported by the bands, but I don't have anything by this band, so I just jumped on the opportunity to, what is this cable? Jumped on the opportunity to finally get some hands on this, yeah. And then for the very last part, I have 3 records that I talked about a bit here and there maybe. I'm not in the mood to talk about them a lot. It's basically the entire, or the trilogy of Satanic Warmaster records that came out on, Jesus, I'm always blanking on that one, Northern Heritage. It's basically because my mic is electrocuting me that I want to give up. But this is the first one, Satanic Warmaster with Strength and Honor. Now I'm going to get them out because they are worth showing. But fuck it. Put this off. I'm sorry, but I need music. We're listening to Thunderbolt again. Thank you very much. I'm going to get them out because they are words. I basically decided to get them when I saw this one pop up on Instagram. Like I said, use the platform to your advantage. Satanic Warmaster played on these records. It's those shitty ass plastic sleeves that I hate. Satanic Warmaster, I don't know what all his monikers are, I really don't. But his companion is Lord War Torech. He is basically he provides synths for these records, and he's also a synth player in other bands, but mainly in Right for Revenge. That's it. This is the first one, Strength and Honor from 2001, yes. Been released a few times, this is the latest, I guess. Satanic Tyrant Werewolf and Lord Ward Torech. 2002, 2001, and the Hateful Winter. Yeah, there you go. Very cool picture of the werewolf himself, lyrics, and then of course it's a double in a single pocket sleeve, which is always not great, but I get it. It's werewolf. His Satanic Warmaster stuff, apart from the last one maybe, yeah, it's also basic packaging, which I kind of like, but you know, if it has the knife, you know, it's the quality. So that's the first one. Yeah, just classic material. Then this one is Black Catharsis, I think. Yes, very simple cover. Yeah, a cool picture that is, I think, a classic. I consider it a classic. I know that's maybe stupid to say. This is from 2002, so why not? It reminds me of a lot of pictures that have been taken after it. So yeah, reminds me of Perverted, actually, and Beherit maybe before them. But yeah, Remembrance of Times Forgotten, Cursed Emperor, and Helia, yeah, whatever. Not going to read it. Helia Shudesta or something like it. Northern Heritage 2002. Lahti, Finland. Is there anything more? Yes, there is a printed. There you go. Records are all on black. They had silver and gold, but I hate silver and gold. Silver is okay, but I hate gold. I need the silver all the gaafs, but yeah. That's that. And then last but certainly not least, and I discover something new every week, and this is the Satanic Warmaster Clandestine Blaze. What I thought was a split, but it's basically a collaboration. There you go. Still getting zapped. Collaboration in the sense that the first 4 tracks, which is Intro, My Torments, Sacrificial Fires, Conspiring Winds of the Abyss, and Disease, are records or tracks they both recorded at the same time, so collaboration. Then there's the Guided by the Blacklight by Clandestine Blaze, and To the Legions of Satanic Warmaster, plus an outro. So yeah, a collaboration. I didn't know they wrote tracks together, but there you go. I don't know too many collaborations actually within black metal. My other cabinet is full with them, but yeah, there you go. That is the last 3 of this update number 161, not 666. We'll get there and we'll celebrate accordingly, but for now this is 161. The title is, not that, so you know I'm not lying, Unholy Black Flame of the Barret Mountain. There you go. There you go. Cheers to everybody involved into this. Whoever's working with me, whoever's talking to me on socials, whoever's supporting this in whatever way possible. But certainly Adams, and certainly the people I talk to, and you know, the friends of Filth. Thank you. To the tunes of Thunderdome, Thunderbolt, we head out into the night, and I'll see you very soon with Phantom Slaughter in the very far future, and maybe some talks. I'm trying to get Pede back, we'll see. I have a plan. My plans don't always work, but we'll get there. Cheers to everybody, and I'll see you soon.